Can we get another round of applause for our special guest, Ravyn Lenae is in the building. Ravyn Lenae. We've been waiting to have you on the show for some time.
I've been waiting.
We're so excited you're here. You know how much we appreciate you and love your music.
Yeah.
Thank you for making it. Thank you for honoring your talent and your craft.
Thank
and
you.
for joining us live on Apple Music Radio this morning. How are you? How's your spirit?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, what's going on?
Early morning, late night last night, had good dinner,
What'd
some
you do?
laughs. I went out to dinner with my manager and some people we work with. But
nice.
yeah, it's been great.
Nice. And how are you in the mornings? Are you a morning person?
I'm becoming a morning person. I think now, whenever I get to sleep in, I'm like, I'm missing something. This isn't right. This isn't right.
It's funny how that happens because I was the
Yeah.
same. I used to love sleeping in, and now if it gets past sort of 7 in the morning, I'm like, whoa,
Yeah,
what's going on?
exactly.
Like, what's happening? You've had such an incredible couple of years in particular, but obviously you've been building this up for so long, and
Yeah.
you know you've got a real story. You've got so much of your backstory revolves around music.
Yeah.
I feel like music was just in your stars from day one. Do you feel the same way?
I feel the same way. I don't know. People ask me what my plan B was, and I was like, I don't know if there was a plan B.
Yeah. Well, if you love Plan A so much, why would you
know.
have to plan for anything else?
I know. So I'm just thankful that it's working out and that I stuck to it.
Yeah.
Because I know that's rare. So
Yeah. Did you, and obviously it requires work, and you
Yeah.
put a lot of effort in, like any great artist who achieves great things, it
Yeah.
requires work. There's no work around.
Yeah.
Did you predict in your mind when you were younger and you imagined where you would want to be that it would require the kind of work it did? Were you prepared?
I don't think I thought that far. I think the moment that I saw how much work really went into it is when I went on my first few tours.
Yeah.
So I went out with No Name for the first time, and then when I went on Control tour with SZA,
Yeah.
and that was my first long 3-month tour, and that's when I saw, oh, I don't think she ate today.
Yeah. Because she is committed.
Yeah, and I know she's sick today, and
Yeah.
she went out, and like you hope people are receptive and they're happy to see you. All those other things that come into it that really make it feel like, oh, this is like an endurance thing as well as a creative and like joyful thing.
You must have a lot of love in your heart for those artists because of those early tours. I mean, those are really formative experiences going out there and you know, performing in front of people for the first time, and they're not automatically your people.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, can we just dive into some of your favorite memories or just where the feeling and the emotion sits for you when you think back on the SZA tour or the No Name tour in those early days?
I think, well, when I got the No Name tour, I was still like a senior or junior in high school. So I remember it being in like my computer class, and I screamed, and they were like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm going on tour.
I quit. No high school for me. Yeah.
Do you know what's mad when you like throw your hands up and go, I'm going on tour in front of your friends in high school, is you roll the dice. There's going to be some people who are going to be like, yay, and then there are going to be some people who are like, you're dead to me.
Absolutely.
I was like a teacher that you didn't like class, so you're like, I'm out of here.
Exactly. So like I was out for like a month or some change.
Excused
in
absence.
school. Yeah.
It wasn't excused absence. All right, let's get right into the education system. How do you get off school for a month to go on tour with No Name?
You know what? That was the first time and I went to an art school, but that was the first time that type of thing had happened there. So they didn't have the system in place for
So
somebody
you're on a flyer
to go.
now. You're like, hey, look how good this art school is.
No, she's Wikipedia.
Yeah, you're on the webpage.
Yeah, well, you're Wikipedia. You're notable alumni.
Yeah.
For sure.
I live for that.
You know what's really funny is I'm notable alumni on my high school, which is hilarious because I was the most unnotable person on my high school during my time.
Wait, was that the high school you posted today?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
But my brother is not notable alumni, and he was very notable, so he's just shitty the whole time about this. He's like,
whole time.
how are you recognized of going to this school when you were literally invisible the entire time? I don't understand how this whole system works.
It's so amazing.
Yeah. And what about the SZA tour? Like looking back on that, I mean, both of you now have continued to thrive in your own way, and it's beautiful to see. But going back to that time where she was really just starting to break through, and you were searching for inspiration and figuring out who my mentors are going to be and how I'm going to learn.
Yeah.
What are your favorite memories of that time?
I think it was important for me to go out with women, and I'm so happy that they were that they saw me in that way and wanted to take me under their wing.
Yeah, that's lovely.
But I think I got a first view lens of the pressures that come around it, and then seeing how people push through that. So I think the main thing that I took away from the Control tour was being literally first row to someone's life changing. So I got to see that with each city, I remember those venues had when she first booked it was like 500 caps, but she was getting bigger and bigger each week.
In real time.
So being able to see that was so inspirational for me, and I still think about that time. I wonder if she thinks about that time.
I'm sure she does in her own way. I mean, I think reflection is important. I think you can't project without a little bit of reflection. And I think it's really important you recognize that certain learnings and lessons, self-awareness is key, right? I mean, that must be something that as you become more successful, and having seen other people go through it and done it the right way, do you recognize the importance of self-awareness too? Because when it happens fast for you, I don't think it's available to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with the 10 years I've been signed and working on music, there've definitely been times where, and we were talking about it, where I got discouraged or I felt like, why isn't it happening fast enough? Or blah, blah. But now I look back and I'm like, oh, I was able to really get in tune with myself that entire time. And now I can walk into, the next season of my career confident and like sturdy.
Yeah, it's got to be more gratifying now too, because you're one of my favorite stories of the last year, because for a lot of folks, it was a slow burn. And real quick backstory. Yeah. I just talked to you last week. Like we did in-store in her hometown in Chicago. So the reason I want to bring this up.
Before you came in, he actually motioned to come around here, and I was like, no, what are you doing?
I got this, Zane. Move out the way.
What are you doing?
This is my homie.
Exactly.
But over the last few months, like you've done Coachella, like you've done Lollapalooza in your hometown. You're having these moments because it is a slow burn, and it was even a point we talked about in Chicago. Yeah. You tweeted it months ago when someone like posted the album sales. You were like, I love a slow burn. And now you're here getting to have these opportunities. Yeah. So you have to, I don't know, in a weird way, I know you wanted it then, but it's got to be more gratifying the way it happened.
Only if it happens. Only if it happens.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, it's like, where's the gratification?
But we're here now. Like you got it.
What are you even talking about? It hasn't even happened yet.
I feel that.
Yeah.
So it was a nice button up.
It's such a beautiful, beautiful body of work, Ravyn.
Thank you.
It's been a year since it came out. I mean, pretty much to the day almost since it came out. And to Eddie's point, you just did a hometown show. You're out there doing festivals and doing all kinds of crazy cool shit. So how does it sort of feel to you a year on from the minute you released it to now? How has the album grown for you? Yeah. And how has it changed perception for you now that fans have held it and loved it like us for a year?
That's a great question. I actually just did a post around the anniversary, and I just wrote something down. I like to do that with my albums, like really think about and reflect on the past year.
Honor them.
Yeah, honor them as like people, Yeah. But I think the special thing about this album is that even before, there was success or the song did something, I felt an internal shift that I think really inspired the direction and just my freeness and liberation around music. So that I won that first. And I was like, whatever comes from this is like a gift.
What caused the internal shift? What happened?
I don't know. I feel like something had to happen with me. I think, through the years, I might have gotten discouraged or forgot what that magic is in me. So a lot of it was returning back to that and trying to remember, what did 15-year-old Ravyn, love about music before I had studio time, before I had money to do anything in music, the pureness of like music and the things that inspire me. I wanted to bring that back into my heart. And
that's a powerful observation because, you went out on tour as basically a child star.
Yeah. Yeah. My mama was right there.
Right there, right? Yeah. And so and then once you start, it's very hard to look back and very hard to recognize the person and what motivated that person in the beginning. Yeah. A lot of people don't do that for 30, 40, 50 years. And then they're like, wait, how did I get from here to here? And do I like where I stand? Right. So what a beautiful opportunity to do that.
Yeah. I think that's what made the project special and what, gravitated people to it. So yeah, I'm still living with it. I feel like the lyrics are still molding to whoever I am now in 5 years and 10 years. And I think that's what, music is.
It's clear that your life and your story and your family and where you come from and who you are was kind of a driving force for this record. It's a very personal record, right down to the artwork, which we have beautifully placed across the studio here. And the story about that photo. And for the people that don't know what the origin of that photo for the album artwork is.
Yeah, so around, creating the visual language for the album, I knew it was important to go back home to where I started on the south side of Chicago in my grandma's house and just walking through the rooms and remembering the girl I was in all of them. And this is actually the basement in the laundry room. And she dyed my hair red for the first time here. So I just wanted to memorialize that of like me making a decision about who I am and standing on it.
It's a beautiful photo. I mean, it is
you.
a timeless image.
Thank you.
Right? It could have been shot at any time where still photography was an opportunity.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. All right, Southside Chicago.
Yeah.
Hometown, where you grew up, who you were, what made you and ultimately put you on the path to want to entertain and express yourself. Childhood for you, what was it like?
Childhood for me was cold.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know, there's just something so electric about Chicago. And, if anybody gets a chance to go, really try to immerse yourself in, the culture, the music, the food, the water. I don't know, there's something about it that I think is like the perfect breeding grounds for artists or people. A lot of transplants come and like find themselves and find their community and who they want to be in Chicago.
It's such a unique city because it's so landlocked, but it feels so coastal.
Yes,
the very nature of it.
It's lake
because
right
that
there.
lake right there, right? You really can't get your head around the fact that it's not a port to some
Like
other
an
foreign
ocean.
land.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's insane. And yet it does share that thing that a lot of America has when it's sort of more centralized.
Yeah.
Which is that front, back, left, right, it's just big. Right? It's just big. So you're sort of left to your own devices to some degree because the coasts often feel, and I grew up on the coast of New Zealand, a very small country, but we also feel like it was out there. It's a long way away for us, but it was out there.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in the center of a big country. You kind of have to sort of make your own
your own thing. But I think something so special about Chicago is the community, the artist community in particular. Like when I started to make music, I felt like this hug of artists like wanted to help me and try to figure out what it like. Monty Booker, who I started working with very early on, Classic at Classic Studios. He gave me free studio time after my very first session. No Name, Mick Jenkins, Chance. I don't know. There was this renaissance.
So true. I did a show in Chicago around Lollapalooza a few years back.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of Chicago artists came out and played with me, which was great. I was DJing. And then they just brought their friends. And then like Vic shows up and Vic's like, I'm jumping on.
Yeah.
And then like, I'm jumping on. And just Chicago's just on the stage. And I'm like, wow, I'm sort of on the side of stage. And there's like 9 people. There's supposed to be 1. There's 9 people from Chicago. And they're either hugging, high-fiving, or rapping, or singing, or doing something. And I'm just like, Chicago is literally shown up.
And it goes generations deep, like whether it goes blues and Chaka Khan in them, and what happened was in the soul scene back then, and then
Minnie
even
Riperton.
like it's generations.
Man, I'm a shout out Smashing Pumpkins as well.
Yeah,
One of my favorite bands
Okay,
ever
you can have that. You can have that.
And a very Chicagoan band as well, proudly Chicago.
And even like the infusion of like house and people want to make the argument is it Detroit, is it Chicago, like whatever case may be. Midwest, we'll just say Midwest.
You can't answer that question. It's a very tough question. But you're right. It's one of the two, to be honest with you, in a sense. Certainly that deep spiritual house where it felt like the gospel and the 4 on the floor were really meeting in the middle. The stuff you go and dance to get over shit.
Exactly.
Right? The safe space. You were just out in Chicago. You loved it.
You loved it?
I did love it.
You loved it. Your carousel was a lovely one.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of sad coming back, especially because we met on Monday. That Tuesday, because that was my first Lollapalooza.
Okay.
And just absorbing the city. And it's a very unique American city because it does have that New York feel to it. But it also, and then if you understand the history of Chicago, it's a lot of immigrants, whether it's Polish or Irish, black people that came from Mississippi and all that, because y'all all from Mississippi.
Yeah, we country.
But you have that in that city, and just how walkable and lucky for me it wasn't super duper hot because I know how y'all get. It's a beautiful. And then I want to talk about the inspiration.
Deep dish. Oh, my bad.
I didn't get the deep dish, but the inspiration. Like you're a songwriter, and so many. The biggest thing I noticed, like your fans support you. Like there was one person in particular that drove 3 hours to make that. I'm not gonna lie, that dude was DMing me like crazy, but I was ignoring it. But I finally said hi to him. But anyways, talk about not only you as a songwriter, but how your songs resonate with your fans like that.
Yeah, I think the most unique thing that I've found out over the years is that me and my fans have been the same age the whole time together. And I think that's the thing that links us and that connects us and that keeps us with each other. When they come up to me like, I was 15 when you dropped Crush or when you dropped Moon Shoes. I'm like, I was 15 too. So it's like really documenting my life, but I think they see themselves in me.
There was a maturity that kicked in around the time you started releasing music, we've seen it now with artists like Lord and Billy and other various artists where there's like this sense of sort of like, I have no problem taking ownership over my relationship with someone my own age as a fan.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was younger, I feel like we didn't trust anybody our own age. We were like, I don't know, there was just a sense of just like, I don't believe you've lived enough life to tell me what's really going on to me. I think we were sort of raised in a different generation where it was like, you need to grow up faster or be more mature quicker. And I think kids are like, no, I'm just happy growing in my own time.
Yeah.
And things happen fast and things are happening fast around them all the time. So in a way, I think there's a comfort in hearing someone your own age, like you, sing about stuff that I'm going through.
Right now.
Yeah. Because it's really hard to process.
Yeah.
So thank you for actually hearing me as a fan. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I love that. I love when I can see that in like my favorite artists or when or even in my song Pilot, I say I'm just 24. Like it was a very intentional thing to state my age in that song.
Yeah.
Just for even me to look back on and remember what that felt like.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Listen, speaking of looking back, I remember what that felt like. I'm sitting there in a studio in 2024, early 2024, with Craig Kalman. And Craig Kalman is just like, you do my Craig Kalman impression. Those people
Do
that
it,
don't
please.
know.
Do it.
This is really just for Ravyn and anybody else who knows Craig. So crazy. So this
is he killing it?
Oh my God.
This Ravyn Lenae album is crazy, and I need to play it to you. Can I play you this one song? Let me just hang on. Let me just look for this right now. Hang on.
You killed this.
Sorry, hang on. It's just a lot of emails.
But yo.
Hang on. Yo, Big Beat, Craig Kalman. Yo, crazy. There's just something going on. There's something magical you caught in the air that day, I think.
Thank you.
You know, because even that just bit where you write it at the end, it's so effortless. And the bit where you go octave up in the chorus, like, I don't know, you tell us, but I feel like you really got out of your own way on this one.
Oh my God. This is probably one of the first songs we had for the album. And I remember him having the beat and he played it. And that was, these melodies are what initially came out of it.
Yeah, just straight up
just
subconscious
soared out.
magical.
Was that Dahi?
Dahi,
Okay.
yeah. But it's soared out.
So
And I was like,
good.
don't get this beat to anybody. This is mine. This is mine.
That's real, by the way, for anybody watching or listening to this. That really happens. I've been in the studio where beats being played and someone's been like, putting my name on that right now. If that goes anywhere, we're going to have the kind of beef. We're going to have, we going to make it beef.
So real.
We going to make it beef.
I know
It's
what you're talking
real.
about.
Like the wars over the beats.
Yeah, for sure. Poor old Alchemist got himself in trouble on that one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because he ended up giving it to
Jadakiss.
But
It was
was it Cameron or
somebody else
Jay or
had-
somebody else wanted it,
Had a mark on that
Interesting.
beat.
and they was pissed
It's
off.
hard because people put a mark on it for 10 years
So-
and it's like,
Right?
So which beat did he give away that you were like, damn, that was supposed to be on the album?
he didn't give it. That's my brother.
Okay,
we
he didn't
like
give away
this.
nothing?
We like this. Nothing.
Yeah.
So what's that relationship like then when you find someone that's like kind of your other half musically?
That's everything to me. I think I grew up loving the dynamic between the artist and the producer, the Brandy and Darkchild, Aaliyah, Timbaland, Quincy and Mike. I just love that. So I knew that whenever I find people who feel like that for me, one, it's rare, but when it happens, I want to hold on to it. So first was Monty and then Steve and now Dahi. So yeah, I think it roots the music in something, but then I don't know, I like to feel like I'm family with whoever.
Can you tell Steve that we love his last album so he can hurry up and release his new one, please?
I think he needs to hear it louder.
That was, oh my God, that was one of the greatest artist tantrums of the year, hands down.
He was like, y'all need to respect this
You need
one
to
first.
respect that last album first. It's like Grammy-winning album, like so loved. He's like straight up arena artist now. He's like, you guys don't love my album. I'm like, Steve, you're a diva,
Is
man.
it his
I love
phone
it.
in the Smithsonian, like the phone that he made it on or
Probably,
something?
something like
Yeah,
that.
something crazy like
He has
that.
Like, we respect it, brother.
He has big D. He has big DE, big diva energy for sure, man.
We
Steve.
love him for that, though.
But you know
love
what?
him.
So many artists commented underneath that, like, you know what? Yeah.
Well, no, because what he was saying was, which is totally fair, and I think you as an artist understand that, is that there is this supply and demand issue that sometimes goes on in modern life, which is like, I love you so much, I want the new. And artists need the space and time and the grace to be able to make something new, and also to feel like what they made has lasted and can live, and isn't like, I liked that for a week, where's the new shit? And that supply and demand issue is,
it's real.
Is it real?
It's so real. It's so real. Like, just keeping up with the algorithm is a real thing, and feeling like if you're not up on it, you're going to get lost. There is some truth to that, but I think the way to combat that is to literally do it at your speed, and your people going to find you. I'm a firm believer.
Process, right?
But that's got to be tough for you, though, because you're so, I don't want to say you're so online, but you're in tune to what people say.
Absolutely.
So how do you balance reacting to what the fans want, the others that kind of seep into fandom? You're like, I don't know if you're a fan or if you're just kind of on the internet.
Oh, that's a tricky situation. That's thorny, right? Figuring out intention.
Absolutely. And I think even, with the song, with Let Me Not, having a moment this year, it's welcomed so many like passerbyers that may just drop an opinion or drop a thought or a question, who haven't been in the hub with me this whole time. So I think it's me getting used to that type of like interaction with people, but also knowing I'm on my own time. I trust my process, and it's gonna be what it is.
So you're welcome, but you don't have as much investment or stock in this necessarily until we get to know each other as artists.
Exactly.
But you're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome to come by,
right?
say hey.
Yeah, 100%. I got other songs too. Check them out. They're all bangers.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. And that's been like the thing, with this moment, is like, I want people to enjoy Let Me Not, but also go back. There's so much music I love when I discover an artist and there's a whole catalog
it's my favorite
that I get to dig through.
It's like
Christmas.
One of my favorite. Oh my gosh. One of my favorites. It happened to me yesterday. Billie Eilish posted one of the music backdrops of one of her Instagram posts was Title Fight. That band from like 2010, that hardcore band. And I had not listened to enough of that band. And I suddenly just went in down, I downloaded the album. I was like, dang.
So here's my question. I had this conversation yesterday. Are you an album person? Because I'm a cheater. I'm an essentials person.
Oh, no, I'm an album person.
If I discover you, I'm like, let me hear the greatest of what they got. And then I might go into the album.
Well, let's ask Ravyn first. Are you album or play? Where do you go first when you discover something new?
I think when I discover something new, I do the highlights first too. Because I'm like, if this is a thing that's like, getting people to gravitate, I want to feel what that is. And then from there, I dig in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation. I'm sure you won't mind me mentioning this. We have two boys, and I talk about them sometimes. They're relevant. And our 19-year-old son was having a pretty deep conversation in the kitchen about music and stuff. And he was saying that he really feels his generation, and certainly his friends at the moment, are leaning into albums and projects.
Yeah.
And they're moving away. And no disrespect to our friends who work obviously in this other area, which is very important. And song-based playlisting is incredibly essential in terms of bringing music alive.
Yeah.
But he's just saying it's no longer the only thing. A lot of people are now starting to invest in albums.
I completely agree.
And they're getting in there earlier because they just want some space to understand who somebody is and what they're saying.
I think that's important more like now more than ever. I think people, and like even with the tides changing with, what's getting popular and what's soaring on the charts, people want to cling to identity in story. And I think it like one cool song doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we get this all the time.
Yeah.
Every time we turn on our phones or our devices or we walk down the street, it is just attention span overload.
Yeah.
And so the art is by design supposed to elicit and unlock some kind of emotional feeling in you. And I think that it's starting to land for people where they're realizing, like, I'm not allowing it to do its job.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I'm going to put on this album or play this song, I'm going to really let it do its job. That's why we're here.
I think that goes hand in hand with the rise of vinyl and physical media and people just wanting these experiences. I think for a lot of people, music was a passive experience. And this generation is going back to maybe what the generation before them skipped.
Right.
It's like, let me just sit down and enjoy this.
There's a love of retro now. I mean, I actually love that.
Is.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the idea of kids like getting into this idea of what is quote unquote retro. To me, it's like, there were some good ideas back in the day, not all of them. And this is where I'm skating on real thin ice. So maybe can we turn off all cameras and maybe kill the feed? Can we just pull mics down and kill the feed for a second? Not every innovation has to be tech. It just doesn't. Sometimes it can be in your hand. And it can be something
tangible.
Tangible. It can be created. You must have known, Ravyn Lenae. You must have known. I mean, as this one was getting built and it was starting to feel real. And you knew you'd found the center, the soul of the song, what you wanted to say. And you started to feel like yours and it wasn't just an idea anymore. You kind of must have known to some degree that you had one.
Oh, I knew. When you get that feeling of with the song, it's so rare, but like it's infectious. And I remember playing it for my team. And then Dahi is a man of very few words, but he said, "You got one."
Yeah, you got one. You got one. And when you started performing it live, and obviously it's taken on a life of its own now, people wait for that song to some degree. What does that feel like? I mean, you've had ones like that, but when you have a real one that really cuts through, what's it feel like?
It feels insane. I remember the first time I played it, it was like, I think it was the day it dropped. I played at UCLA. And this was like the tester. And as soon as I started playing it, the entire they didn't know the song, but the entire crowd started moving. And I was like, oh, I'm curious to see how this is going to feel 6 months from now. Now it's like when you hear the dun, everyone loses
goes
their
up.
mind.
They go crazy.
I mean, it's got to be wild too, because we're in this day and age where we're so oblivious to numbers. We hear numbers all the time. And like there's this insane stat of like hundreds of thousands of songs released a day. When you have a top 10 song, like of all the songs that were released over the last few months or years or whatever, when you have a top 10 song as an artist, what does that feel like?
I'm still trying to figure out what that feels like. I know that I believed in that song, but there was always the question of how am I going to get this to as many ears as possible. I knew that was my challenge.
You know, I remember, this is where I got to give credit to our friends who are doing other things with their life now to some degree, but I remember again Craig and Julie saying, oh no, this is a matter of time. This is not a case of if. This is a case of when they were talking about your early days. And so I do think that, you know, it's like when you win awards, right? Everyone gets really humble, but it's really for the team. Like it must be nice to know that success now reflects
the hard work
everybody's putting into the vision.
And everybody deserves that. You know, I love my team. I respect my team. They've been grinding with me for a very long time, especially my management team. So it's a win for all of us. And then, you know, I have, you know, women who are like my contemporaries who've been, you know, in the same kind of pocket as me for a long time and coming up to me saying like, this is a win for all of us. And we're seeing like what's possible. And that's just crazy to think about. For me.
The artistic and creative community is by its very nature connected through common passion. But there are real ones that pop out that you know that long after that, you know, things have calmed down and you're living your life and priorities shift, you'll stay in touch. Like who are some of your real closies? Who are the people you've met along the way that beyond just being a fan, you're like, I could pick the phone up or send a text to that person when I need some kind of confidence or I need to ask them a question or even just get a temp check on a song and they're going to be there for me and vice versa.
That's a great question. Definitely my Chicago community, Monty Booker, Smino, like those are my brothers for life. Whether we're working on music or whether I'm working on music separately, I know I can trust their opinion. But then, you know, some friends I've met along the way. I remember when I first got to LA, one of my first friends was Arima Adara, who's a really amazing singer and songwriter. But that's somebody who I consider my sister and I trust my management. My mom.
Can we talk about that relationship? Because she obviously, you know, you had encouragement from an early age because you were put into an education system that honored the arts. So there was an idea of like, I recognize talent in my child. And then there was also some kind of some time spent kind of studying in a classical space as well, which I'm not sure too many people outside of your core fan base would know. And what that experience was like, because obviously discipline in music is a part of it. But most kids these days find it through passion and follow it. And the discipline comes through success, not through discipline.
Exactly.
So what was that classical music experience like? And do you think looking back on it now, it was essential towards your work ethic?
I think it was so essential. I went to Chicago High School for the Arts. So I did academics from 8 to 2 p.m. and then music from 2 to 5 p.m.
Oh, you had a full-time job.
Working.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
And then from there,
I
make little studios.
Yes,
exactly. So I think early on, like even that was a subconscious decision on dedicating my life to something and working at something.
Did you like the process then, or was it like, I'm just doing it, like this is what I'm told to do?
I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it. Definitely as the years went on, I got tired and started wearing my pajamas to school.
Yeah, the SpongeBob pajamas.
You had an early life nervous breakdown. You basically were just like, oh, she's wearing her pajamas again.
Yeah.
She's there again.
You're like Bomber on Royal Tenenbaums, just sitting down on the tennis court with one sock on.
Exactly. That was
like Raven's broken. Like we might have broken Raven.
That was me. Like I just come home, go straight to the basement, not say a word.
She's fine. She's processing. It's a 19th 13-hour day in a row. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. But how did you find yourself into that kind of even more structured environment where, it's like, because music is math. We don't want to ever really acknowledge that because it's magic, but it's also math, and both can be true.
Exactly.
Shout out Fibonacci sequence.
Exactly.
So how did you find yourself in that place where the two were kind of starting to merge?
I think with having such a long school day and then vocal lessons on the weekend and then maybe, meetings on Sunday. And then I feel like I understood that, yes, like music is fun, that feels like great for me. But I was very aware of the work aspect around it and how much time and like decision making went into it. So I think I was able to kind of seamlessly make that transition, and then my mom being there was such a huge part of it for me.
She must be so proud.
Yeah.
Must be amazing.
She was on the road with me selling merch with her laptop still clocked in at her job.
Incredible.
So that is my dog. Today's her birthday, by the way.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, mommy.
Can we ask what your mum's name is?
Angie.
Okay, happy birthday, Angie.
Happy birthday.
And congratulations on raising such an amazing human being and artist, and I'm sure your extended family as well. And that's beautiful. What a great story.
Yeah.
Man, tough to be a kid though and trying to like have fun with your mums around.
Cause she'd be in the back like,
exactly. That merch table has eyes on everywhere. I mean, the whole point of the merch table is it's positioned in the perfect place of the venue, so you can see where the audience are that you need to get over. So she's seeing everything.
Any boys come over, she like.
Happy birthday to your mom. So let's talk a little bit about where you stand today. We've talked a little bit about your upbringing and your childhood and what brought you to the point of breaking through with beautiful music and what this album means to you that's currently out. This Rex Orange County moment's great.
Yeah.
I love that. He's great.
I love Rex.
Same. His voice, his whole energy. It's just so emotionally nonchalant.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I'm not really trying, but I'm breaking your heart at the same time. So I'd just love to know kind of like where you are right now.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to create the supply and demand extension, but what are you working on? Can you tell us? And where are you going?
So I'm always working on music, but definitely working towards a new album that I'm excited about with Dahi, and bringing in so many new colors, new people that I'm excited about.
Great.
So doing that, in between that, trying to, do shows, but also go to the movies sometimes.
Yeah, what did you see recently? Have you seen anything
I
good?
saw Weapons.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
It's good.
I haven't seen it yet, but someone described it in a way that I wasn't expecting. I thought it was going to be a straight up classic thriller, but I was sort of horror. But you said it's kitschy.
It is. I wasn't expecting that either, and it wasn't scary.
Is it like what's that last House movie? Barbarian? Nah, what's the one with? Anyways, don't even matter.
But like it was
love watching your brain
campy,
work.
and like there was more humor than like horror.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I think
enjoyed
once I let go of like the horror aspect of it, I could enjoy it.
Have you seen F1?
No. Oh yeah, I did see that one.
I was about to kick you out of the
No,
room.
I love that one.
Shout out Damson.
I saw it.
No, get out.
Yeah.
This is where we depart.
No, it's great. I'm trying to think. I really want to see Naked Gun, but that's
Fantastic
just
Four was fire for me.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I want to see if. I mean, I've been back in my horror bag, but Together is supposed to be good.
Yeah.
I think is that out already? Yeah, I want to see that.
What
So
about
you the horror.
Oh yeah.
You love horror?
I grew up watching a lot of horror.
Word.
My wife watches horror on planes, which is hilarious. So all you hear as you're walking down the corridor is go, "Oh my god!" It's just like
no.
It's kind of adorable and sort of super inappropriate at the same time. So what about TV shows? What have you been deep diving into? Like, what's been your real binge for you?
So I was so late on this, but White Lotus.
Yeah, it's deep.
Woo!
It's deep.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's good.
And I actually started it on a plane recently, and I accidentally started the last season first.
Oh my God.
I didn't realize.
So you got to about episode 6 and we're just like, what the? Am I watching right now?
I'm committed, so now let's just go to 2 and then 1.
Okay.
Yeah. I think 1 is the best one for me personally.
It was great.
Murray's just
1 is
unbelievable
great.
in that, man. The guy the dude who runs the hotel is just so phenomenal.
It's amazing. So I hope there's another season coming out, right? That's not it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
he gonna keep going on vacation. What, Mike White?
Yeah.
Like wherever he can go, he ain't gonna never be nowhere cold.
It's gonna be in the Maldives before you know it.
Maybe
Ravyn Lenae, you've been such a joy to hang out with. We really do love and respect you so much. And your story, as Eddie said it so beautifully, your story is one of the greats in modern music. You know, it's been really, really nice to hang out with you. And good luck on the road. We can't wait to see you again,
Yes.
Ravyn Lenae.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.